What up, YouTube? This is my new to me '09 Goldwing GL 1800. Bought it off a private seller. I've just had it for over a week. I'm taking it out right now on a proper test ride. Starts right up. This motorcycle is heavy. It is something that I wouldn't recommend somebody who is getting into motorcycling to start riding this, because I weigh 150 pounds. This motorcycle weighs over 900 pounds, so 8 times more than I weigh. You need to have leg strength, so don't skip leg days if you're planning on riding a Goldwing. You need it. Look at that pooch. What's up, Poochie? Man, this motorcycle is just it's on another different level. Like riding sports bikes and jumping onto this, it's just a completely different ball game. Very, very different. I didn't realize how comfortable the Goldwing was. For 1800 cc's, that's like, damn, that is a comfy bike. So since the time I owned it, because I purchased this last Sunday, I didn't take it out. I made sure that I changed the engine oil, I changed the spark plugs, I changed the final drive shaft oil, and the brake fluid, because this motorcycle has been sitting for the last 14 years and I don't think the brake fluid or the final drive oil was changed. I think the normal engine oil and filter was done, the basic maintenance, but nothing thorough. So the next thing I will be doing is changing the coolant. I've already ordered the Honda coolant for this motorcycle, so that should come probably next week. Yeah, this motorcycle is a project. I think it's relatively easy to work on, except for when you are trying to replace the air filter. That is a very involved task. But it's just a huge motorcycle, man. This thing feels like a car. 6 cylinders. It is just ginormous. Coming from a leader sports bike, getting onto this thing just feels like you're riding a car. It's massive. Look at the dashboard. It's just huge. All right, I'm gonna take it on the highway for the first time. Ooh wee. The overdrive on this is so smooth. Man, this motorcycle is comfortable. As you know, older motorcycles, you'll have to make sure everything is checked, especially when it comes to the electronics. I feel like some of these buttons might have been sitting for so long, they need to be serviced. But mechanically, since this is a '09, has very little nanny controls on it, I think I should be able to work on this bike and get it in some decent shape. I think the cruise control works. The cruise is set. Ooh. Yeah, the cruise control works. I just gotta nanny the controls a little bit. I've also ordered a fresh pair of brake pads. So I'm glad I managed to change the brake fluid. That's going to help me a lot. I've had a very nasty experience, a bad experience in the past when I bought a used motorcycle. It was a CBR 600 F4i. It was a 2001. I bought it in 2014 and I had an accident on it because I didn't change the brake fluid. The brake fluid turned, it was, I think it was old and it had absorbed a lot of water. I had to overtake that car. I have to tell myself that this is not a sports bike and I want to throw it around the corners. Maybe once I get new tires. Right now with these old tires I don't trust it. Man, this thing flies. I can't wait to get everything set up in this properly. I think for my weight the front springs might work, but I don't know. This is just new to me. This Goldwing is new. This platform is new. But I'm definitely going to invest in spending money on improving the front. This is a big, heavy touring motorcycle. This is not something that you just jump on with a very few years of experience. No, this is not something that you get on because it's very intimidating initially, especially when you're a light rider. If you weigh less than 200 pounds like me, I weigh 150. You need a lot of leg strength to try to like move this bike around when it is stationary without the engine or the reverse assist on. One good thing about this motorcycle, it has a reverse assist. It has a reverse motor. I use that, but you really need to have some leg strength on this. Not to say that people who are smaller than me can't ride, but you need to have skill. You need to have the basic motorcycle skill covered for you to get onto a behemoth like this. And once you're experienced, this motorcycle is just a dream to ride. I love it. I really do. I hardly ever use the rear brake. It's always the front lever that I need to start using both. I use both if I really need to like stop. And I realize that this Goldwing comes with linked braking. So there's a linked braking mechanism that connects the front and the front lever, or the front brakes and the rear brakes, with the rear brake pedal. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm not so technically tuned into how the braking system is, but if I read correctly, the rear brake pedal engages the front brake to a certain percentage. As to what, I have no idea, but there is a little engagement in the rear brake pedal, because I remember when I was doing the bleeding sequence, I had to bleed the front left lower and the anti-dive brake nipples in the front using the rear brake lever. So there is a connected mechanism as to how much braking force the rear pedal gives to the front and vice versa. That I am not so sure. Yeah, that soaked it up very nice. That turn was nice. That was fun. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I will keep you updated on the latest updates on my Goldwing. Right now it has already passed my first initial motorcycle test. There are no drips or leaks with my oil, so it looks pretty good. Thank you so much for watching.